Oops. You rode them, it felt like you were sitting in the bath and you were hanging onto the taps at the end, which is, there's no way my VFR would get me where I am here today. What I've done is I've got on the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 in Camet White, which is an interesting colour actually. And I've ridden out west of my hometown of Brisbane in an endeavour to find some dirt roads less than 50 kilometres from my house. And I haven't had much success, to be honest. Going off topic slightly here. Point of this video, I think, is to talk about this fantastic machine and why I bought it as compared to the CF Moto 450 MT. Why did I buy this relatively archaic looking machine with its retro styling and its Indian heritage, well, British then Indian, rather than the MT 450 MT, which is the bang up to the cutting edge twin cylinder engine, blah de blah. Well, I rode both. I actually rode the 450 MT first and took it for a pretty decent test ride. Even found a bit of dirt in a grassy paddock to ride it around on, and I was impressed with it. It's a great bike. It makes an interesting noise. It's not a bad engine. It's a little bit uninspiring. It's probably got just enough interest to keep you coming back, apart from the great noise that it makes, which it does make a nice noise. It is a good bike. It's pretty well screwed together from what I can tell. The styling is good. It's very modern looking. It looks aggressive. It looks like something that you would like to be seen on. You could put a KTM badge on it, nobody would know the difference, or a Yamaha badge, call it a 450 Tenere, and nobody would bat an eyelid. So I had started casting around for quotes, which were all the same. Basically, nobody was doing any discounts on them at all, even with a bunch of accessories thrown in. It was all recommended retail for everything. I'd looked at these, gone past a shop, had a look at one, sat on it, and just went, nah, it's not jazzing me up. So I was just about ready to plonk a deposit down on the CF Moto, and I thought, you know what, I better go and ride one of these bloody Himalayan Enfield things and see what it's actually like. And bugger me if it wasn't a load of fun. It's got a really torquey, punchy little engine. Doesn't make a particularly interesting noise. I mean, we've all heard single cylinder engines. They're not exciting to listen to. We've all witnessed the sight of a delivery driver flogging a heavily loaded 250cc single Japanese sports replica bike through the middle of the city with a huge bag of pad tyres strapped to his back. It's not a good noise, especially when you've got a loud, cheap exhaust on it. Anyway, this actually doesn't make a bad noise. It was fun to ride. The engine was entertaining, it was engaging, it had just enough, an interesting enough torque curve to make it fun to ride. The handling was good, it was light. It put a smile on my face. The CF Moto had me in the point where I was like, yeah, I could live with this and not be too disappointed with it on a daily basis. The Himalayan was like, I could live with this and actually have fun. So then I was torn. I was thrown into a state of confusion as to what to actually buy. Do I buy the Chinese-made CF Moto, or do I buy the Indian-made Himalayan 450? You can't go wrong with either of them, but for me it ended up being the Himalayan. I actually got to the point where I made a spreadsheet. Now this is slightly embarrassing. I'll probably cut this bit out of the video because I'm still slightly embarrassed that I did this. But I had reached a decision-making sort of logjam or impasse, if you like, where I didn't know what to buy. I was just torn. One part of me was saying get the CF Moto because it does make that cool noise. The other part of me was saying get the Enfield because, well, I mean, look at it. It's cute. It's adorable. The CF Moto, you sort of sit in it. The seat is too low. Your feet are, your legs are up like this. You're cramped. You definitely need the tall seat, even if you're a short ass like me, 5'10". you're definitely going to need the tall seat on the CF Moto. Unless you like that sort of sitting in a bathtub old BMW K1200 style. Remember those K1200s, the first one that came out in about, I don't know, late 90s? And you rode them, it felt like you were sitting in the bath and you were hanging onto the taps at the end, which is the handlebars. It was a strange thing. Great engine, but weird to sit on. This is a half sit on, half sit in bike. I find it's a nice compromise between the sit on top enduro bike and the sit inside, you know, sit down in the seat CF Moto. I think the CF Moto with the taller seat would be a good thing. So I made this bloody spreadsheet, right, which I'm still faintly embarrassed about, but anyway, I basically put in all the things that are important to me. Comfort, potentially reliability, repairability, dealer network, service intervals, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it's like to ride. I'm not going to show you the spreadsheet, but I went through all the things that are important to me, and then I rated each bike with a score out of 10. I didn't weight them. I mean, I do have a life outside of this nonsense. But anyway, I went through thinking, okay, scoring that, and I'm thinking the CF Moto appears to be winning this. At the end, I did the totals at the bottom, and I think that was 134 points versus 122 or something for the CF Moto, which surprised me. I thought, oh, the CF Moto's going to win this, and that's what I'm going to buy. But this won the spreadsheet challenge. So then I was even more confused. In terms of reliability, who knows? I mean, this is a new engine. The CF Moto is a new engine. This is made in India. That's made in China. I don't know if there's much to choose between them. I think it's a coin toss as to which is going to turn out to be the most reliable or the most unreliable, or if they'll both be fairly reliable. I think the old Himalayan had a pretty good record for reliability. Had a few things that fell off it, I think, in the early days. But once you'd sort of worked the niggles out of them, they were generally pretty reliable. The CF Moto stuff, I don't hear too many horror stories, but you know, you've always got people that have had bad experiences with things. I mean, I had a VW Golf, and it was the most unreliable heap of shit I've ever owned, and I would certainly never buy another VW product for the rest of my natural life. At the end of the day, for me, motorbikes are about having fun. So I thought, bugger it, I'm just going to buy the Himalayan because the engine is fun. We don't buy them because they're sensible. We don't buy them because we have to have one. We buy them because they're fun, and they put a smile on our faces, and they make us, you know, we get that. What is it James May says? They give you that fizzing sensation. Something about a motorbike or a fast car or something that when it's done right, you go, yep, I want more of whatever this feeling that I'm getting. I want more of it. But I was definitely getting a mild fizzing sensation. So I thought, well, I'm going to get the Enfield, because at the end of the day, I want something that puts a smile on my face, and this does. Anyway, I'm going to go. It's anything but dry. I suppose that calling it wet rider wouldn't have sounded quite as good. It's black underneath.